Hello, beautiful souls. Lori Rising here, star channeler, transformational mentor, and sacred guide. Happy Aquarius full moon. Happy Aquarius full blue super moon. It's happening on Monday, August 19th, tomorrow, as a matter of fact, at 1:26 p.m. Central Time. It's happening at 27 degrees of Aquarius. Now, when we have a full moon, that's always when the sun and moon are opposing each other. So the sun is at 27 degrees of Leo, illuminating how we receive the signature of Aquarius. And there's a reason I am using my massive blue sage today. This is a potent Uranus activation in the most beautiful, welcoming way, because we're ready. So much more to share on that. But Uranus is go big, go quick, go new, or go home. And this is also my blue sage. And I want to chat a little bit about blue because we have just moved through the biggest Lionsgate portal that possibly humanity has ever went through, but definitely for our lives, like for sure, the potency is palpable. And I did several channelings around there on the 888 with my email community. So if you're not in my email community, why not? It's free. And these are things that I offer every once in a while. So come hang out with us. It's also for my membership community. And then divine timing, the next active retreat was literally the day after the portal. I mean, when I get called to create and share offers, I trust them. And I don't actually look ahead. My human avatar isn't like looking at all the astrology. I just move with the way spirit moves me. And wow, this retreat, there was a presence and a cosmic connection in this that it's almost indescribable. It was so sweet and so potent. Yeah, more to come on that. But I want to talk about these blue colors that have been coming in. It's been like sky blue, sea blue, aqua, marine. There's some purple hues in there and some pearl colors. The 888 portal, the channeling that came through was really like a cosmic merging in the heart with the gold energy of the heart, and cleared a lot of the density of the heart. And that came from the Leo new moon as well. And then the first channeling of the retreat, oh, it was incredible. It brought in like a depth of those colors and the vibration and frequency of those colors. And it brought it through to our pelvic bowl, to our womb space, to our creative center, to where we birth life and ideas and energies. And it brought it through in an umbilical cord. So if you've ever seen an umbilical cord, that's like the visual to really drop into, because that's what we're plugged into now. So it's not just in the heart. It started in the heart, and now it's like in the root. It's deep in, you know, where we source so much of our power. And wow, yeah. So I'm speechless, because I'm still marinating and integrating all that went down in the next octave retreat, as are the participants. But what's really come through in the power of this for me is the love that is freaking filling not just my heart, but every cell of my being is so massive. It's just flowing out of me. Everything I look at, I have this depth of love for it, and with it, and through it, and from it, right? And also it's like this, this incredible desire for soul care and home care. It's like creating this really good flow and energy in my space. And I have all of the momentum and this level of trust that has come through, because we did so much manifestation mastery work over this weekend. And it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, okay, so the Uranus activation. This is my blue sage. That's why I brought it in. Let yourself just sit with how that lands for you in the visuals and in the feeling of those colors arriving and merging within your soul. I'm also using my Shaman's Dream cards, which only happens occasionally. And this is coming in because in my membership community, so many women are connecting through their dreams, like they're going through dream telepathy. And that's always where it begins. And then it becomes conscious. So the level of ascension that is activating for those of us that have been dropping in right now is freaking huge. So always confirm it. That's what happens in my membership community. And there's a lot to talk about with this Aquarius full moon. I'm not going to talk about all of it here. I will talk about it tomorrow in the live circle for the membership community, which is where we do the embodied work. I don't do the embodied work here. That's my signature. So I came onto this planet to literally support you in reawakening the ancient encoded knowledge, the innate healer, wise one, creator, activator that you are in your cells, beyond your mind. That is root embodied activation. And so, you know, those of you that were at the retreat, especially the first ones into my world, you now know how I work. I work in refinement. I work in the moments that we're not in circle, because the moments we're in circle are sacred, they're powerful, they're connected. And then we integrate them and alchemize them into our everyday experience. That's how we quantum jump. That's how we create miracles. It's not when we're in circle. That's the first activation. And how do we reverberate it out from there? So working with me is a little bit relentless and all the way rewarding, because now you've been activated at a level that you've been hoping to be activated at for probably years, but you've been staying up here because, like, in these videos, I know y'all are listening to other people. Are they taking you? Are they guiding you into living it? Or are you just listening to it and conceptualizing it? So that's my superpower. And I don't hold back. It's my jam. So I'm not for everybody, but if I'm for you, you know, because there's a nervous excitement. Sometimes there's even a little bit of energy of being repelled or triggered. And when you can move through that growth edge with me, what's on the other side is freaking paradise. I am living it right now. So thank you to every one of you beautiful women that were called to the next octave, because what went down is beyond what even my human had expected. And that's where we're moving. So everybody else, listen, you've been showing up, you've been doing the work, right? You have been coming back time and again to the same wound or trigger until you get to the root, and you've been reverberating it out. It's happening. It is happening. So remember how I've talked a lot about the 100th monkey theory? We are moving into the 100th monkey, and people that are unconscious are tapping in to the dominant energy that's now starting to vibrate in the grid, in the field, and they're making massive change in their life. They're believing what's possible for them that they never thought or expected could be possible in this lifetime. And they're acting on it. They are embodying it. They're taking the big, bold moves. They're finding the courage because you have been emanating that courage out over and over and over. So congratulations. Thank you. This is the Aquarius signature. Now, this full moon is activating the great conjunction that happened in 2020 when Jupiter and Saturn were conjunct at 0 degrees of Aquarius. So that began a new 800-year cycle, and it also began a new 200-year cycle of moving through air energy, which is fast, it's inspiring, it's elevating, it's galactic, it's light, it's social, and Aquarius is here for humanity from a deep place of sovereignty while being detached from the fear mind, right? Because it's all about rebellion. It's all about independence. It's all about freedom, yet it's also about connection. That's the beauty and the elevation of Aquarius. Aquarius also is connected to the galactic realms. We are becoming and communicating as galactic citizens. And y'all, it's hella fun. It is so much fun. It's the natural high that we came into experience that had been severed and disconnected from us for so long. P.S. I have a podcast episode coming out that's called Alcohol Free Dumb. So alcohol freedom, it's going to be really powerful, and I hope you tune in. It will be the next video that lands here on the channel. Speaking of the channel, welcome. If you are new, I am so excited that you have found us. Please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. So the Jupiter-Saturn square that we're in right now is activating that great conjunction, and it's going to happen again in December, and then it's going to happen again in June. So we are about to move through a massive, beautiful evolutionary ride. And what I want to ask you is, do you want to be comfortable, or are you here for evolution? Because you can actually have both. In the old world of separation and duality, we've been in this teeter-totter of one or the other. But these spaces, like my membership community, like my retreats, like my masterminds and mentorships, and so many others in the world that are sharing this deep innate medicine with you, are the space to have both. Because that's where we start to really live from that adaptability muscle, that resiliency muscle, that evolutionary muscle, and that excitement for the disruption and the dismantling of the disempowered systems that are coming to light in massive ways. Now, if you're still plugged into those systems and being a pawn in the game of them, you're going to be moving through a lot of fear. You're going to be taking on everything that they're throwing out, because they're throwing out the kitchen, the bathwater, and the baby, and whatever that saying is. So really tune in, because your cells, when you get to the depths of your cells, beyond all that conditioning and programming, will tell you. It's incredible, the messages and guidance that's coming through. It's incredible, the galactic support and friendship that's available at this point. Okay, so like I said, the Uranus activation is real. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. It's also co-ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is activating that Saturn-Jupiter square. Saturn is mastery. It's also refinement. It can be constriction. It can be delay. It's about taking our time and really getting it right. In a square with Jupiter, that can create a challenge for the expansion of that. But it also, when we really sit in that challenge, when we show up for it, when we get super intentional, it creates the activation of it. So it doesn't have to look like a long time. If that's our belief in Saturn, it will look like it. So this is all about the new Earth soul flow in our manifestation mastery. It's how you show up in your intention, in your practice, in the moments when you're tired in the 11th hour, in your response over reaction, and in your belief in what's possible from that space of connection, and then from that space of rest. So this really is about sitting with the initiation of deep change in our life. That's where I feel like Saturn is coming in, especially in Pisces. So even after this retreat, usually I'll maybe give myself a day and then I'm back in it, back at work. My body, every part of my being was a no on it, and I trusted it. I let myself flow through it. Today is Sunday. The retreat completed the circle on Tuesday, and I knew this video was coming, and it kept trying to tap in. It wasn't right, so I kept just nurturing myself, my environment, my animal kiddos, my friendships, my land, and it just kept elevating, and it kept sharing more goodness, more truth, more divine wisdom with me. So that's where I feel like we're going. We're really moving into that strength and power of the divine feminine. 8888 is the symbol of infinite abundance. And when we sit in the space of trust with that, the physicality of where we're going meets up with where we are, and it shows up for us. So I am like stoked to feel what's showing up from the foundation that I have been sitting with and growing over these past few days, from the initiation of what opened up in that retreat space. So really let yourself sit with that. I'm going to tell you a little story about the 888 manifestation portal. And hopefully this helps you, because I was just at the dog park yesterday with my little animal kiddo Journey. And there was a man there with a beautiful dog, Pearl, and you could feel their bond. And he talked about her as his only child. And we were chatting, and he was saying how they're suddenly dealing with separation anxiety, and how she's having a really hard time in the crate, and like literally making herself bloody to get out of the crate. And so we chatted a little bit about it, because I am actually doing a lot of deep work with Journey in his crate as well. And so he told me that the first thing he did was he went to the vet and said, there's something wrong, I need help. So the vet gave him a medication. It's like an anti-anxiety or antidepressant medication. And so he's just going to start using that every time he goes to work. That's not getting to the root. That's not where the magic of this portal lies. That's still in a space of disempowerment. So I actually stayed late and gave him about 15 minutes of my time, really talking to him about working with the behavior, about working with the energy, and about shifting the energy for Pearl and how she felt about the crate, instead of how she associated it with her dad just leaving. And that was the only space that she could tap into. So I was helping him to understand that there's so many ways in his intention that he can start shifting this when he really lets it become an unfolding, instead of just holding it as this one interaction with him, Pearl, and the crate. And after all of this, what he landed on is he was like, oh, okay. But, you know, I did go to the vet and I got this medication. So when I go to work, I don't go very long. So I'm only going to give her the medication when I go to work. So I completed my time there and I left. This is the story that I want you to sit with. We've got to redefine our reliance on immediate gratification, our culture of convenience, and start to live in the magnificence of truly intentional living, and of always seeking the deeper space of the root of the energy. What is the energy in your words? What is the energy of how you show up in the 11th hour? What is the energy about how you talk about anything in your life? No matter what your mind sees as the reality, really check in with yourself there, because this Aquarius full moon is absolutely offering you big, quick electricity and energy and change. Are you welcome for it? Are you ready to move on the new path like lightning? That's what's available here. So let's get into the chart and talk about the massive T-squares that are offering an even bigger opportunity. Okay, so here we go. We've got the moon at 27 degrees of Aquarius opposing the sun at 27 degrees of Leo. So we come to the middle, and how do we bring our courage in being led by our heart with our desire for elevating humanity in our sovereignty, in our galactic activation, and in our electrical system? So that's the nervous system. It's like, how do we listen to our body consciousness, which our heart is going to guide us in? So really synergizing both of them here in the middle. Now let's talk about this T-square with Uranus in Taurus. So again, like I shared, this full moon is ruled by Uranus, and now we've got a major activation with Uranus in Taurus. And we've also got a conjunction with the sun in Mercury. And again, remember, Mercury is retrograde, and we're really refining and redefining the way that we talk, communicate, our inspiration, the way that we think. And now it's in Leo from the heart. So with any T-square, we're always looking at what's the energy that's missing, because actually activating that brings it all together. And this is Scorpio. And Scorpio is diving deep, deep into transformation, deep into the underbelly, the underworld, really revealing what's there and having that tenacity to stay, right? To really let yourself move through the growth edge for the transformation on the other side. Now let's talk about the other T-square, which is Venus in Virgo, which is conjunct Black Moon Lilith. opposing Saturn and Pisces, T-squaring Jupiter and Mars in Gemini. Wow. This is a massive T-square. And again, let's look at the energy of what's missing over here. And it's Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is about getting that higher vantage point. It's about unity consciousness. It's about expansion. It's about opening up. It's ruled by Jupiter. So it's opposing Jupiter and Gemini. And Mars is how we take action. And then how do we expand that action in our inspiration, our ideas, our communication, our thoughts, our lightness, our levity, Gemini and unity consciousness. Ultimately, Gemini is there as unity consciousness. It's like we can have both sides of the grass. It's not greener on the other side, but how do we find the innovation, which is the Aquarius ruling this, in order to expand ourselves, Jupiter, into all of it, right? So there you go, there's that. And the final T-square that I want to talk about is between Ceres at 7 degrees of Capricorn and the North and South node, the North node in Aries at 7 degrees and the South node in Libra at 7 degrees. Now, of course, the nodal axis is all about the confidence, the innovator pioneering your life in a new way, going for it, being filterless, like not waiting for anybody else, really being the warrior of your life through the heart that's coming in, not through the mind that might be still operating from that lower density of fear and scarcity. And we're letting behind the self-sacrificing. This is where we're filling our cup up. We're filling our soul up. We're really dropping into that home care, soul care, that heart care, and trusting that all those around us feel the healing in the energy and start to shift and magnetize from there as well. Now, Ceres is about grain. It's about nurturing. It's about fertility. It's about harvest. And I want to focus on the nurturing. So nurturing ourselves in Capricorn, which is how do we show up in our public persona? How do we show up even in the details? And how do we show up in a new way by creating our own systems, not following other systems? And then what's the energy that's missing here that's going to activate it all is Cancer. And Cancer is all about receiving. It is about the home. It's about creating the most supportive environment you can possibly have that cheerleads you into the miracles and transformation and quantum leaps that are available for you, because that's what happens that I'm seeing in the membership community. I saw it in the retreat. So invest in yourself, invest your time, invest your money, invest your belief, invest your attention, and see what happens from there. Open yourself to the possibilities. Believe in the shift and the evolution that will come from that declaration. So bringing it all together. So this is all about nurturing and really sit with, do I bypass the deep spaces of nurturing that my body is asking me to move into? How do I do it different now? How do I move into those initiations? As a culture, we have been lacking initiation in so many ways, in so many pivotal transformations in our life. So this is where we say, we do it different. This is where we slow down to receive. We slow down to feel. We slow down to hear, and we move forward in the confidence from there, in that guidance glory. Now, there's other things happening, but like I said, I'm going to keep this video a little bit shorter. And if you'd like to know more, jump into the membership community. We'll be there tomorrow. We are ready with open spirits, open arms, open hearts to welcome you in. So let's do a quick card pull. See what's coming through in the messages today and how to really activate these energies, what to look for, and how to say yes to them. Oh my gosh. I love it. Okay, so the first card is in the hand. The universe is your partner. That's that galactic activation. That is absolutely available. It's right there. What you do is you take the brakes off. The brakes are your mind, it's your control, it's the learned fear. And if you don't know how, work with someone, work with a container, work with a group, show up for it because it's absolutely happening quicker and much more easily for everyone at this point. I mean, this is such a massive shift in where we're going from this Aquarius full moon. And the next card is stars in the sky, limitless possibility. What do you believe is possible that you have not experienced yet? It's an unfolding. We've got to stop looking for one and done. We have to stop looking for a destination to save us. I'm going to say that again. We have to stop looking for a destination to save us. We've got to savor and enjoy the surprises, the excitement, the unfolding, the manifestations as they come and lead and guide and open. It's about the feeling. What's the dominant feeling that you're tapping into? What are the words that you're saying? What's the vibration that you're opening in the field? That is going to be a massive key and clue for you. It's a universe of inclusion. It includes the energy. That's the foundation. That begins everything. And the final card is deep diver, diving into a task. I love that the last two cards, we brought all of this blue cosmic energy in, beginning with the heart energy, even in the galactic activation. Like these are all the energies and the signatures of what's been coming through in the channelings, which is so exciting. And then we've got the water. I mean, water is life. Water is flow. It's feeling. The sea is one molecule away from the sacred waters of this body. And it is time to go deep, go deeper than you've allowed yourself until now in following the messages that's coming through the feeling. See where it guides you and trust what comes from that sacred vortex. All right, y'all. Happy Aquarius blue supermoon. I've already felt the potency of it the last 2 nights. It has just been like, oh, what? It's so big. It's so big and so subtle. Let yourself just sit and feel what wants to flow through for you in your unique blueprint, in your divine code. This is where you access it. This is where it culminates, and we're letting go of so much in this space while we're saying yes to so much more that has been pouring on the planet. I mean, some of you may have seen the Northern Lights last weekend during our retreat, the Perseids meteor shower. We're continuing to have massive geomagnetic activity. Feel it, hydrate. So important. These bodies really need the nutrients, trace minerals, electrolytes, good salts in your water. Pay deep attention. Make sure you stick around for that next podcast episode. I feel like it's going to be very illuminating and enlightening for you. Happy Aquarius blue full supermoon. I hope to see you in the membership circle tomorrow. If you have questions, hit me up. The links are all below. I love you so much. Happy evolution. This is massive where we're going. I have more to share about the retrogrades, about what's coming in the fall, especially for the US. So I'll see you in the next new moon video as well. And don't forget to keep looking up.